There was some real good feedback. Lots and lots of views. This. It was just the start, weren't it, Terry? Of us making the fans aware of what we're looking to do at the club, and just the two things that you've mentioned there are the squad for this coming year, and the junior pathway development that we're looking to reintroduce at Featherstone. I think I said on the last time we did this that we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but I've looked at the comments, and I think it's something that we need to grab hold of really quickly, which is what we're going to do. So it's too soon for next year, but Ian Hardman and his team with the Rising Stars, the Future Stars, Featherstone rugby team, we're going to build on that. We're looking to do a further team, so two age groups at that level, and yeah, it should be real good fun. I mean, I think from the video when we spoke about the youth at Featherstone, when I first came down with the academy, and then I think the A team was just like made up of majority of youth players, if you like, and I missed out. I didn't give a shout out to probably my best mate down here, which was Danny Evans, who played all through the junior ranks at amateur level and then into the academy. I think they were a very successful team, captaining a cup winning team. And then I think Danny had a fantastic career down here, and then I think went on to coach at Castleford and Warrington, which is some achievement. I think with people like that in the community, Jamie Rooney as well. I think Jamie's coaching down at Fev Lions. I think he coaches the under-15s down there. I'm not sure if he does another age group actually as well. But with people like that in the community, that are Featherstone people that have enjoyed fantastic careers here, I think we could almost be spoilt for choice for an academy coach. Listen out for the call, Danny, Jamie.
Going on to the playing squad for next year, at the awards night it was mentioned that there would be some really exciting signings coming on for next year. Can you elaborate on any of that?
Terry, we should look at these questions before we do these kind of things. I did mention at the awards evening that we've got some exciting signings. I think the only way I can probably get around this now is I think the rumours are true in some of the signings that Featherstone have reportedly made. Two or three real interesting overseas signings. Players that have played in the Cup. They would be NRL players, were they not playing in Cup teams where the current Aussie halfbacks currently reside as the halfbacks in those NRL teams. So that they're looking to challenge themselves in a tougher competition. So that I think that me personally, I'm really excited about those lads. We've also strengthened with signing two. They would have been current Super League players. I'm just not sure. I can't just say just yet. But they're over the line. We've just got the small print. Dot the I's, cross the T's, and we'll probably do another one of these where probably with James or something like that, where we can elaborate more.
And talking about James, then it'll be James's own team, won't it? What he's actually selected and not inherited, as was the case last year.
Yeah, that's right, Terry. I think when we look at coaches at Featherstone, and this isn't necessarily people getting sacked. This is people moving on to pastures new. This is people looking for new challenges. But when I look back to my days, the 4 seasons that I was here, I had 4 different coaches. And I was chatting, actually, funnily enough, at the awards evening, I was talking to Ian Hardman, who had 10 years down here, and he named 9 and said, I thought there was 11. I mean, how do you create a club with consistency when you keep changing the coach? And as I say, sometimes it's fallouts. Sometimes the chairman might believe that somebody could do better. Maybe it's fan pressure. That gets to the coach perhaps. But we need to look long and hard about this. James Ford, I've known James. Well, actually, I've known James since when I was playing down here, and he was a ball boy, and he used to run on and get my tie-ups, which he likes. He likes it when I remind him about that. But I've known James at York, and for the years and years that he was at York, very very consistent coach. Brought a lot of young guys on, who went on to do bigger and better things than they were currently doing at York Knights. And I think we need that stability. Now, no one can say never, but for me, I'd like to see some consistency at this club. I think it's something that has lacked over the years, and as I say, this isn't always the coach being pushed out the door. Sometimes this is the coach walking out the door historically. But I believe in James Ford. We've got a very good young coach who really does know his stuff. And I'm keen to see what he can do, as you say, Terry. So I think for the first time, perhaps in a very, very long time, we have a coach at Featherstone that has hand-selected, green-lighted every single player. I think there are 24 of them currently. Every single player are his and Ian Hardman's men, and I think that should prove to be a very good combination.
So, Paddy, we've got a new team joining us next year in the Championship. The Hunslet Club really played magnificently well, and they'll be, as I say, in the Championship. I understand there's some connection between Hunslet and yourself.
The connection, as you mentioned, is with Hunslet. Hunslet's chairman is a guy called Kenny Sykes. So, congratulations, Kenny, and your team for getting promotion into the Championship. But Kenny also was the chairman, and still is very active at my local amateur club in York, which is Heworth. Kenny's been. I'll have been, when I first started playing rugby, I'll have been 11 years old. Kenny was on the field still playing, and from there he went onto the committee, and he's looked after the club through thick and thin. And when I say thick and thin, currently probably Heworth's one of the largest amateur rugby league clubs in Yorkshire. But it wasn't always like that. I think about perhaps 7 or 8 years ago, the club was struggling in the bottom division of the NCL, struggling to raise a men's team, and probably had 2 or 3 junior teams. Fast forward to current day, over 20 teams currently play down at Heworth, with 3 or 4 girls teams, juniors at every age group, from under 7s through to under 16s. I think there's 1 or 2 teams, 1 or 2 age groups that have 2 teams as well. There's the little heroes, which are the little ones that run about at 4, 5, 6 years old, and then there's the women's team, the masters women's team, the masters team, the first team, the second team. So it's been a successful story down at Heworth. And when I hear about rugby league isn't thriving, like what it was, it's certainly not the case at Heworth, and it's all about the youth. It was about creating a place for these young kids to play rugby. We started filtering in these teams at 7s, 8s and 9s, and it was just a positive conveyor belt. You'll hear me talk about the negative conveyor belt, what I see in rugby league currently. That's for another time, Terry, but a positive conveyor belt. And yeah, there's lads that are enjoying the rugby, lads and lasses, over 250 kids enjoying rugby down at Heworth, and a real success story, and a lot of that's down to the team with Kenny and a load of other volunteers that have helped resurrect something there at Heworth, and I was part of that team. So creating something like this down here, yeah, that's a big ambition of mine. and everyone else's that I speak to. So if we've got a place for the kids to come and play, if we've got lots of coaches putting their hands up to say, yeah, let's get involved. We've got the fans. I'm sure, I dare say we'll have the sponsorship to help create and fund commercially those activities. That's where we're going to start. We're going to start at the grassroots, and we're going to project that forward.
And we've got a firm base at the Featherstone Lions. A similar thing happens down there. Lots of teams, and we've got to tap into that, haven't we?
Yeah, I think as a kid, I remember there being 2 or 3 teams around Featherstone, and it's that story of those losing some of those clubs. But what a strong club that is, Featherstone Lions. Yeah, as a coach, coaching the juniors, it was never a great. We never had much success at Featherstone Lions, but. A fantastic club, and we will be reaching out to those clubs and looking how we can support them, helping us to create that relationship and a strong bond between clubs moving forward together, as opposed to at loggerheads at times. And I don't want to be that professional club that feels like I'm stealing players that they've nurtured for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I'm looking to do something pretty unique, actually, with juniors, with those 15, 16, 17-year-old lads. But we'll talk about that down the line once I've got that green lighted by the RFL. But I think it's pretty unique in what I'm going to offer. I know, Terry, you're nodding. I know I've run it past you a few times, and you think it's a great idea. And I've soundboarded lots of people about it. I've soundboarded some of the sponsors about it. In fact, we had a special business breakfast a couple of months ago up here where I soundboarded it, and everybody's keen for the idea. I just need to grab hold of it now and start running with it, as opposed to just talking about it, which I'm good at. Is actually getting it done, and that's what I really want to do. Yeah. What's
the time scale you're looking at then, Paddy?
Yeah, so for the junior teams, or for the Featherstone Rovers version of a scholarship/academy.
Yeah, the scholarship academy.
The scholarship academy will be in force next year. Yeah,
fantastic.
Next year, but there's lots of things that I need to do between now and next year. So when I say next year, the forward, not this season coming, the season
26.
After. Yeah, 26. But it'll be, but the things will be in place, and those players will be the fortunate enough players that we hand select for this particular venture. They'll know about it pretty soon.
Great. The future really looks bright, Paddy. Thanks very much for that.
Thanks. Cheers, Terry. Thanks a lot.